Hello, you just tuned into Breaking New Grounds. I'm your host, Mercedes. Today my guest is, well, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? You know, I've always introduced my guests, but this is a special guest, and the reason is because she's breaking new grounds in so many ways. We're gonna first talk about where she's actually coming from, her personal projects that she's into doing, and then we're gonna get into actually her acting career and stuff like that. So first, let me just introduce real fast. This is Evelor Savior. Her name speaks for itself. And so we've had a few discussions, and I will be going out into the field with her on the 17th, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. And we're kind of doing the same kind of movement as far as it is for women and to uplift women. So Evelor, Evelor Savior. You know, you gotta correct me sometimes.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Just tell us a little bit about where you're coming from, and where you're going to.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited and always energetic. Well, I'm here. It's been 10 years since I've been in the U.S. and so fortunate. I'm so grateful to be here. But actually, I have so many projects coming up this month. I have my meditation workshop on the 16th at Sanctuary Day Spa in Queens. So please come and check us out and spend some good time with us. And I also have the Ashley TV show that I'm the lead actress, and we're gonna be doing some rehearsals and starting to shoot those episodes also later on this month. So it's a lot of stuff on the table, and I'm also a multilingual singer, so I have my own music project on the way as well. So, and my work that I want to do with sexual abused women and stuff like that. So
Yes,
some good stuff.
So you just shocked me with the singing part because I already knew about the acting, and I knew about the kind of advocating that you're doing. So the singer part comes to me as a little bit of a shock, and so definitely talk a little bit about the singing. How did that happen? Are you singing in different languages, and what's going on with that?
Okay. Basically, I started singing since I was 3 years old. My adoptive parents, they told me I was singing in churches and everything. Singing helped me with so much stuff. I know in the earlier years, getting over the sadness of losing my mother when I was only 1 year old, and losing my father when I was 2 years old, and not having any siblings to kind of fall back on. So music really helped me to go into my emotions and feel safe. So, and then when I turned around like 9 or 10 years old, I started writing poems and stuff like that for the boys I had some crush on, right? When you're a little kid, you have those crushes and stuff like that. And poems turns into songs, and I used to teach my adoptive mother those songs, and then that's kind of how it all began.
Wow.
And so years later, now we're working on the album and different projects, and working with other people like Unique Vibe Productions, and all types of stuff.
That's great. That's great. So did you name the album yet? I know it's got to be some dedications in there to mom and stuff like that. So what's the name of the album though?
Actually, I'm struggling with the title. I might have to ask my fans to help me with that, because it's so much stuff I want to portray. I want to portray like the real me who overcame so many abuse and stuff, so people can kind of relate to and be inspired at the same time. I'm so bubbly and energetic, and always want to have fun. Like I want to portray that as well too. So I'm in between with the title, but currently, I have a song out for the Haitian Carnival season, and it's called Kale Dada by Maestro Hobie, and I'm featured on it. So it's out there on YouTube, and the music videos should be out this week.
That's so much in like one thing. I'm actually convinced that you could just take the name of my show, you know, and just throw it on your label. No problem at all. Just
Breaking new
Breaking
ground.
Woo! Absolutely. So, you talked a little bit about your singing, and we talked a little bit about, you know, the atmosphere that you're coming from, and I love the energy that you're coming with, you know, because that's a topic that a lot of people, you know, shun away from and don't want to talk about, and it's very important that both aspects, male as well as females, do engage in these topics to understand, like, what is it that would make someone else just hurt someone else, just, you know, on that level, you know, just period. So I think those conversations are very important to discuss, educating the man as well as educating the woman to knowing that it's not good to do and it's not good to tolerate. And it has a flip kind of coin of it, you know, because first of all, there's some type of crazy mixed message being sent that it's okay, you know, for you know, the man to be abusive, and then there's another mixed message where it's okay where the woman feels that to accept it, because I know a few people that's been in relationships where they were beat, you know, and they refuse to leave the relationship for whatever reason. So there's some mixed messages that play a part in a lot of why certain things happen, and I love the energy that you're coming through with, definitely, because that can be traumatizing, but you have not let it stagnate you in no type of way, and I love that. So the second thing we want to get into is about the play. So let's talk about the show, because the show is upcoming and it's fabulous. It will be aired on.
Yes. It's gonna definitely be on YouTube, and we're working on the network to have it picked up at, because we want to have the right conditions and stuff like that. So Randy is doing a great job, as well as Jeanette, to work that out for us. But I love it because it's my secret dream to be a comedian. I know. Okay, don't look at me that way. I mean, I don't know. I may not be funny right now, but it's in me, and I know I gotta work at it, and maybe train with some expert stand-up comedian or something to get it out. But it's always been my dream to do something funny, because I'm always smiling and I want people to be happy, you know. So to get the chance to play Ashley, which is she's this girl, and she has a bunch of friends, and she has her own salon and stuff like that that she operates. So she's like a businesswoman, but she has that sexy, flirty side to her, and she has her girlfriends that she can talk to and stuff like that. So it's really nice, because I like that, you know, like women who are empowered, who are independent, but at the same time have fun and, you know, enjoy life and stuff like that. So I'm very excited. People can actually go on YouTube and type in Evelor Savior Ashley, and then you'll see a snippet of one of the episodes that we shot already.
Great. So before we get into the next thing of that Evelor and Evelor Savior will be talking about, we're gonna take a real quick break. We're gonna hit this next song by Global Peace Lovers, Love All Nations. I definitely love the song. So we're going to get into that, and then we're going to come right back with Evelor Savior.
Yeah.
Yes, you just tuned back into Breaking New Ground. I'm your host, Mercedes, and today my guest is Evelor Savior. And I love when energy like that is in the room, because it just makes my whole day, and it makes all the listeners day too. And just to talk to the listeners a bit, if you have any questions or would like to ask Evelor any questions, or you know, about what we've been talking about, and we've been talking a bit about abuse, as well as, you know, how Evelor is breaking through new grounds after being a victim of that, and she's in the acting business, she's a singer and stuff like that. So if you want to call in, the number is 212-650-6903. Again, the number is 212-650-6903. So back to Evelor. Your last name is like the real icing on the cake, and if you want, if you want to say, but Savior. So just tell me a bit about that. Like,
How that came about?
yeah.
Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, I've gone through so many traumatic experiences and abuses and stuff like that. And I had the victim mentality, like, why me? Why me? I don't have my parents. Why me? I'm the one who's being raped at 15 years old, and that's how I lost my virginity. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Why me? I'm being homeless, or why me? I'm living in foster homes after foster homes. So out of all these situations, it's like I thought somebody would appear out of nowhere and just say, Evelor, come with me. Let me save you from that cycle. And nobody came. And I was just there. And one time I realized that I am my own savior. So it's my reminder that nobody's going to come and dig me out of the hole. I have to save myself. In my perception, the universe is always going to be there to help you. But until you reach out and you accept that help, then you're not going to get out. So it's like if you're in a hole and the universe is reaching out, say, give me your hand, I'm going to take you out. If you don't reach up to grab the hand, you are not gonna get out. So in that part, I'm the one to save myself. And when you were talking earlier about like abused women and stuff like that, and I know if we go like back in the day, like certain parents, they stay in abusive marriages and relationships because they have young kids and they feel like, well, my daughter or my son needs a father, or it could be the opposite. Well, needs a mother. I have to endure whatever's going on right now for her sake. But what we kind of fail to realize is that you are actually teaching your daughter or your son this is how life should be. So they should also be abused and they should stay there for the sake of someone else. And we didn't learn to stand up for ourselves. So, and then from the kids who learn down, then they're only gonna reflect what they know. So it's time for us to stand up and say, you know what, self-love is more important, because you cannot love other people until you truly love yourself. And if you truly love yourself, you're not gonna be in an abusive relationship. And I know some experts, relationship experts, who say if you're in a relationship and you even 1% confused about it, get out. If you 1% doubting about it, get out. Because your intuition, your gut feeling is telling you something, and you better act upon it now than regret it later. So that's what I stand for.
You like hit 3-4 things in my mind just listening to you. So one, I'm starting to back and bring it forward. Okay, I'm taking it back and bring it forward. For the last piece, I actually when you said get out the relationship, you gotta get. I was watching a movie. I can't remember the name of the movie, but there was a specific line that just said, it was a woman. She was in love with this man, and the man actually had another woman. She didn't know about it, and he fell in love with her or whatever. And she made her decision. And her decision was quickly. Should I hurt now or should I hurt later? Because she knew that he was not going to leave the other woman that he was with or whatever. And he said, well, he looked at her and was like, now or later. And she was like, you know what, I'm going to do it now. I'd rather cry. So she basically said that. Yeah. So that's one thing. Then the other two things, bringing it right back to what you were saying, is that, you made me think of Whitney Houston. Everyone's searching for a hero. And that song is so powerful because in the song she actually says, everybody's searching for a hero. Everybody's looking for someone to come to. And then she goes into, but she learned to depend on herself. So if you ever, are around and you're looking for this, just listen to that song by Whitney Houston. It's very deep. And then there's another aspect that you kind of made me think of, was a movie that I went to see a while ago. It was called Waiting for Superman. And Waiting for Superman is about the education system and how it actually failed our youth, basically, the way it's structured. So you kind of like touched on so many different aspects, and education is very important, because if you have a system, an educational system that is failing your youth, then of course, then that shows a whole pattern of why certain situations like abuse and certain things like that happen, and why kids who are people that, from small to adults, kind of like emulate things that they see. So if you have a system that is kind of catering to that type of thinking, and kind of got people, kind of got kids waiting for this Superman. And it also comes from, like you mentioned with the parents, the parents getting it from somewhere. But everybody's a kid. Everybody goes through that school system. So there's some form of, you could say, form of like brainwashing within the system that has a lot of people catering to this thing, and feel like, I'm staying because, the child's sake, and it's actually...
Or religious beliefs, or...
Right. So it has so many different... You plug in, you like hit so many different things. So my mind is just like attaching to it. So Savior is very powerful, to know that you can be your own savior.
Yes. And I want to mention one thing too. It's like with all of us, there's like two separate versions of us. We have what we can call, I guess, the lower self, which is like our human, our physical self, where our ego is. And then we have our higher self, which is the part of us that is one with the universe, one with that being. Some people call it God, energy, universe, the creator, whatever you associate, with it. So it's more about bringing that higher self into the lower self and merging with it, and that place is in our heart, and based on recent studies by the Heart Math Institute, our heart magnetic field is 5,000 times stronger than our brain. So when we go into our heart, the amount of love that we can radiate out into the world and receive from the universe to create the life that we truly desire, it's just remarkable. Yeah.
Very powerful, very powerful. I love the way you were going with that. So you're basically saying it. What I hear again in another aspect is that we need to cater and listen to our heart, because our heart is genuinely in trying to bring peace and good and has love and things like that, versus the mental part of our minds, where it's always like trying to be controlling or powerful and stuff like that. So that's enriched as well.
Can I mention one quick
Yeah,
thing?
absolutely.
Because the difference with the brain versus living in the brain or living in the heart, the difference is, how our brain has two different hemispheres, the left side and the right side. We have our logical mind and our intuitive mind. And for most of the time, they're fighting with each other, right? Follow my gut intuition or being logical. So anytime we live in the brain, we're always going to create dualities in our lives. So it's either you create the joy, but there's the bad attached to it. Like you create this, but then there's the opposite. Anytime you live in your brain, it's like you're always gonna create duality. But when you go into your heart, where it's only one, that's where your soul is, that oneness with the universe. It's all love. And when you learn to kind of like meditate and go into your heart field, then your life starts to become something totally magnificent.
So I'm gonna ask, because I have to ask.
Okay.
So, Savior, right? Where did you start to pick up the pieces? Because I hear this is what you have going on right now is beautiful. It's magnificent.
Thank you so much.
I love the energy. I want to see this go to the top of the mountain. But where did it start connecting the dots? Where did that start happening? Where did that process start happening? Like, where did you start educating yourself on so many different things that has brought you from being, like you said before, the victim feeling, getting out of the victim mentality and getting to where you are today? Because I believe that can help somebody out there.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Well, back in 2008, I moved to Georgia to do some music, and I started working with this amazing producer, Brendan Finale. But prior to that, I was basically what you call a quote unquote atheist. Like, I didn't believe in God. I mean, I was an arrogant atheist. Like, you couldn't even say the God word in front of me, because it's either I run from you or you would run away from me. Because it's like, you cannot tell me there's a God when I'm going through all this stuff, you know? So I was coming from that, with that kind of arrogance and hate for life, you know? And when I moved to Georgia and I started working with him, I remember the producer and his sister, we used to hang out a lot, and they're very intuitive. I remember his sister would dream something, and then you see the news and it's on the news. And then, like, or the producer would, like, tell us something, and then it happened, because they're very clairvoyant. And it kind of reminded me of my own gift, because when I was little, I used to be able to hear stuff. You know, I was born clairaudient. So I couldn't deny the fact that they did tell me something 2 days ago, and then I'm seeing it on the news today, or I'm seeing it on the news like a week later. So, you know, I started bringing down the arrogance a little bit. I'm like, you know what? Like how is that happen? Like, how you're able to, like, dream stuff before it happens, you know? And then they started teaching me about spirituality and meditation and metaphysics, and it's just my curiosity. It's in us, but sometimes we just need somebody to trigger it. So from there, I just started researching metaphysics, and then I moved to Orlando, and I started going to this wellness center with Dr. Cecilia, and I studied Reiki, which is a Japanese healing technique. Stuff like that, and from there I learned crystal healing and different emotional release technique and stuff like that, and till this day I'm doing the work. So I've been doing this work professionally for about 3 years now.
Extraordinary, extraordinary.
Thank you.
So, you know, anyone that's listening, I hope that that you get some of the steps. So first you took a trip to Georgia, right? And then after the trip to Georgia, you met some people that were definitely trying to help you. So you came out of your immediate environment. One. Then you found people that were supportive too. Right? Then you opened your mind to just a new idea, a new concept. You know, even though you was rebellious, you decided to open your mind to something, right? So that's the third step. And then fourth, you found that by being open-minded, that it actually bettered you and got you to grow as a woman. Yeah. So that's powerful. So those are the 4 steps.
Yeah, and
to empowering yourself. Definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then one thing too, when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. You know, once you have that, your soul starts calling out for something bigger, then the universe will make the way for the right person or people or group to come into your life. And then the other thing, the major thing I had to realize, being open-minded, that's one thing. And then the other thing too is, in my life, what I've discovered, there's no way you can live a peaceful life, at least the kind of life I'm living now. I could not do it without my intuition. And I'm not talking about the intuition when you have a gut feeling here and there. I'm talking about a constant connection with your intuition. Now, let's break it down really quick a little bit. Scientifically, no matter what you tell me, scientifically, there is no logical way how you would be able to dream something before it happens. That doesn't happen. Scientifically, there's no explanation for how I can meet somebody and they describe my mother who passed since I was 1 year old, describe her with specific features that would prove that there's no way that they could have known this. Scientifically, you can't explain that. Like, your physical body don't have that kind of power. Right. So then when you can truly understand that, then you have to step out and say, well, how are we able to do this? Because there are people who do it. So they're human just like me, right? So then that's when you start branching out into ancestors, into your loved ones, from the other side that are around you, into angels and ascended masters and celestial beings. How crazy it sounds, but then you have to get open-minded if you want a different kind of life. Like, because I came from the hell, basically. You know, and with the kind of life I'm living now, I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. And I absolutely love myself and love life, and I love the work that I'm doing because it works. You know, you have to get to know your intuition, get to know who's talking to you through your gut feelings. You know that, and when you start understanding that and you start meditating and connecting and embracing that side of you, say, hey, I'm here, I'm open, let's get it going. Show me what I need to know. Show me what I need to do and where to go, and you keep that connection constant, and then you start seeing big changes.
Wow, that is just so much. I can't give a 1, 2, 3, 4 step on that.
She said
just
she
have
had
to,
a lot of bases, a lot of bases.
Definitely tune into to Evelor Savior. She's she is so empowering. I mean, she's very uplifting.
MyAngelicLife.com. They can connect with me there. MyAngelicLife.com.
Absolutely, I think that is so. She's just so powerful. So she just gave you her link as to how you can get in contact with her and see what it is that she's doing. Give it one more time, please.
www.myangeliclife.com. So my angelic ANGELIC life.com.
And also give the where you can find the clip as well on YouTube or.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube and you just put Evelor, EVELOR, Evelor Savior, everything will come up. Or if you go on myangeliclife.com, then you can see videos as well. And there's a lot of self-empowerment materials on the website as well. There's a free meditation, which is about 10 minutes that you can go and listen to in the morning or before you go to sleep. And that will help to balance your energy, clear your perception, and uplift your consciousness and stuff like that.
Yes, great conscious minds. Right.
Yes.
So we'll be right back with Evelor Savior. We're going to make this quick announcement. And thank you for all listening. And again, the number is 212-650-6903 for those that would like to call in.
Ooh, I love questions.
So tell me your name and where you come from.
I don't hear. I can't hear.
Okay. Your name is Danielle, and where you calling from?
I can't hear.
You have to give it.
You might have to start.
Hold
over.
1 second. Let me get Eva a headset. Correct.
Yeah.
You're
Oh.
calling from New Jersey, right? So this is Danielle. He's calling from New Jersey. The question, Danielle. I can't hear crazy feedback. You have to turn your radio down a little bit. So,
Oh.
Danielle from Jersey has a question.
Hi, Daniel. Ooh.
So
Okay.
his question is, thank you for that call as well.
Yeah.
Just hold 1 second. So his question is, what uplifts you? What has got you started?
Okay, I have to kind of take it back to when I was very little. Like I said, very little, I was very, very spiritual, even though I lost it afterwards when I started going through traumatic experiences. But I remember since I was 3 years old, I was always saying that somehow I'm going to be so famous and save all the orphans in the world. I always said that. I didn't know how it's going to happen. And my adoptive mom, she used to look at me like, oh my God, this little girl has big dreams. And it's like I came in this world knowing that orphans or children who need help, that was my calling. But again, like I was telling you earlier, when I became a teenager and then going through a lot of abuses and stuff like that, then I lost the path, you know, because I didn't know how it was gonna happen, and it probably the first time I'm admitting this on like on the air, but I used to be very like suicidal. Like I did not want to be on this planet at all. Like it's like, do not. Why did you send me here? I do not want to be here. I can't even fly here. You know, like this so limited. You know, but when I found my way back into the spiritual world and reconnected with my soul and my purpose, then you know it all came back to me that you know there's a lot of children who from being in foster homes and shelter homes and stuff like that, like these kids, they really think like they associate themselves with those situations. Like they don't think that they're wanted. They don't think they have great talents. They're just there and they hate life and they're really miserable because you're there. It's a bunch of kids and we all don't have parents or our parents don't want us. I was the lucky one where my parents were dead. It's not like they didn't want me. But a lot of them is that their parents don't want them for a certain reason. And then you have a chaperone and it's like you're in a system. You know, so I feel like I'm very motivated to go out there and to shine so that they can see, wow, she's one of us and look at what she's doing, you know, and with the little that I've accomplished so far, I feel very good. So it's, you know, anybody out there will feel like that their life is going nowhere or maybe they don't know what their purpose is. Your purpose is to be happy. So whatever that means for you. Some people think that it's what my parents wanted me to be, or they think like they have to live to with a certain standards. When you die, none of that matters. When you die, really the PhD don't go in the coffin with you. Like it does not matter. You know what I mean? So don't stress yourself out with things that doesn't truly make you happy. If it makes you happy to go out there and do that, you know, like whatever, then do it. But if it's not, then follow what makes you happy. And I think that's the human life's purpose, to be happy on a daily basis. It's not like let me be happy 5 years from now or a year from now when I drive the pink convertible Bentley. I'm happy already.
Paula, I hope that answered your question. I think what she's actually saying in a nutshell is that she stopped holding on to the past.
Yes.
And she let some good things get into her life, and overall, that's what inspired her, by just letting go of all of the hurt and building on the new thing.
And one quick question. Well, I mean, not a question. One thing I wanted to mention as well is that if you look at your life and you feel like, oh my God, I'm going through so much stuff. 99% of the time, that means you're a leader. No, but that's how you have to recognize, because people who are not meant for a big purpose where they're gonna go out there and lead nations, they have a regular life. Like it's like nothing bothers them. Like they have a regular life, everything is so smooth with them. But you have those of us who every type of thing comes our way. You have to realize you're a leader. You are meant to rise above all that and then run out there and save the others who have no idea how to get out of there. So, you know, it's whatever you've been through, you know, when you overcome it, take that lesson and spread your wings and live and inspire other people.
That's powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for calling in, Daniel.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So yes, I mean, you said it the best. I think I've never heard anyone put it that way. It's like, um, and if I haven't spoke to them yet, if they have put it that way, but you said it best as far as like you're a leader when you have so much abundance on you, when you get all of these attacks upon you, whether it's spiritual, mental, physical, and it's putting you in a place where in a dark hole to the point where you just don't want to be here anymore. You are actually a leader. And I've never heard it put in that perspective as you did, and I thank you again. Evelor Savior. I'm going to remember that name, and I'm going to be doing a lot of following with that as well. Okay, so hold one more second. It seems like we have another caller, but before that, we're going to get to this next song by Gogo. And just quickly, that song before Savior is by Hanifa, and she's from Jersey. And it's funny because I'm working with her as an artist, and she's going to be in my upcoming play, and she's going to be singing in that as well. So it's really crazy how the world the universe is working in a lot of our favors, especially as women in the profession.
Yes.
So I'm going to get to the next caller, and we're going to get to this next song by Global Peace Woman.
And
So
don't forget
caller,
the 17
please
too.
just state your name and where you're calling from, and the question that you have for Eva Savior.
Metaphysic. Good question. Now, okay. Metaphysic, basically, the word itself means like beyond the physical. So it's the study of what we cannot perceive with the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the hands, and our physical senses. It's basically spiritual knowledge, and the main thing about metaphysics is that it teaches us our connection with that creator or our oneness, and it's not about God or Jesus or this and that. It's more about the energy, like the universe or the oneness, the connection and stuff like that, and knowing that energy of love is leading us throughout our life to our greater purpose. So that's really the main basis of metaphysical studies. And it depends on where you are. You can Google for metaphysical shops or centers, where if you're interested you can go and take classes. But I started there, but my spiritual growth ventured into more Reiki, energy healing. That's really where my forte is at the moment, is the energy healing and angel healing, things like that, and intuition work.
So,
Yeah, that's what. Okay, first of all, as a Reiki master, we don't heal people. Nobody heals anybody. The body is made to heal itself, but the body needs to be in a certain condition in order for it to heal itself. What Reiki does is that it puts the body into homeostasis, which is the prime state for your body and your cells to be in, which is, it's a state where there's absolutely like minimum level of stress hormones. So when you're in that homeostasis state, then your body is able to regenerate itself. And then when you put that with loving affirmations or loving intentions, then that just magnifies the process. So Reiki it's a Japanese healing technique where we learn to channel, to tap into the energetic force that's around us, and being a pure channel for it, and we can transmit it into the person's body. We can do it for animals, and you can even give somebody Reiki who's on the other side of the world, because energy is non-local, so it's not bounded by time or space. So it's really beautiful to tap into our abilities like that. Can okay.
Oh, that play is going to be actually, the first of all, the name of the play is I've Lived the Lives of Many Ladies. And that play is going to be on DVD. It's going to be on a DVD. Right, it's not going to be on, like, it's not an off-Broadway show. It's actually a personal project that I'm investing in on my own. And it definitely will still be available. I will have it posted up everywhere, YouTube, Facebook. I'm definitely going to be out. I'm glad you mentioned this, because this is going to take us straight on out, because Breaking New Grounds this is going to be the last show of Breaking New Grounds on the air. My friend here is going to be taking over, and he will definitely get into what the name of his topic will, but Breaking New Grounds has to definitely get into the field as far as, like, getting out there to the community and showing exactly some of the knowledge and gifts and lessons that we definitely have learned. So Breaking New Grounds is going to be coming into all types, in all forms, into different communities. As far as, first we're going to start NYC-wise, and we're going to work our way out, but we're going to be teaching workshops and stuff of how to develop your own business, and to not and tap into the things that we have left behind, as well as connecting the dots in your life. So that's just a little bit about what Breaking New Grounds is going to be getting into. So the play will definitely be available, and to ask any other questions about that, I will definitely give my number and my email at the end of the show. So just stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Barry X. Barry H. Okay, we'll be looking for you, Barry.
Great, let's connect. Go to
connect. That's what it's about.
myangeliclife.com, and you can enter your email, and you can get free meditation from me and stuff like that. Oh, and my number is there too, and maybe we can do some music together.
Absolutely. We're both artists. Okay. All right, that's right. I like
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then now it's like the men that are saying, what is that? I want to come. Right? You just asked me, you say you want to come. Yeah, it's good. Good. That way we'll have really, really good men in our society.
Absolutely. I love it. And I want to thank you again for coming.
Thank you for
Evelor
having
Savior.
me.
And again, my contact information for, how we're going to start doing the workshops and stuff like that, I will give you that number. My number is 347-261-4867. My name is Mercedes. I also want to thank WCR 93.3 FM for allowing me to build, and start to develop into my personal work as well. Next, I would like to introduce who will be taking over 4 to 5. You can introduce your show and everything. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hello there, listeners of WHCR. My name is Hannington Dia, and I will be hosting my own music show. It will be called HD in Effect. I'll be playing a hour of alternative hip-hop, good hip-hop, not the ignorant Lil Wayne, I just want to do every girl in the world, none of that stuff. More intellectual, and then a little bit of mix of dance and electronic music, and basically music that makes you want to think, and also music that will get you moving in a positive mindset. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Coming soon.
Great.
Good.
I love
You had
it.
a good radio
What's the name of the show
voice, too.
again?
HD in Effect.
HD in Effect.
My initials.
Definitely. You got to tune into that. I think that's going to be fabulous. And yes, he does have the voice,
Yeah.
Not too many people have the voice. Let me get a little station ID. Real fast.
First of all, let's just Evelor Savior. Let's just get into this workshop. On the 17th about what that is and how we both going out there, so it's gonna be great. So just talk a little bit about that real fast as we take it out.
Yes, definitely everybody come out. We're doing aura cleansing workshop on the 17th. It's going to be at Sanctuary Day Spa, 194-05 Linden Boulevard. And that's in Queens, New York. So 194-05 Linden Boulevard, February 17 at 3:30 p.m. It's $25 for the workshop, and we're also providing an exotic Caribbean dinner for everyone. So please come out. Aura cleansing, we're going to learn how to balance our energies, and also we're going to be able to experience hands-on how negative thoughts actually put energetic blocks around our body. So it's going to be really cool that you're going to be able to experience that. And so that way you know the effect of negative energies or negative thoughts. That way you can begin to transform your life into more positive, if that's what you want. So aura cleansing workshop, February 17, Sanctuary Day Spa, 194-05 Linden Boulevard in Queens. Or you can go to myangeliclife.com to connect with me and get more information.
Great. And yes, I'm heading out there.
Yay! Everybody come out!
Yes.
Woohoo!
So that's it for Breaking News Grounds, and the next show that will be coming every Monday is, say it again,
HD in Effect.
Yes. So tune in for HD in Effect. Breaking News Grounds is going now to the streets, basically, and we're just gonna stay tuned for Chi Chi with Sports at the Half. She's coming up next, and we'll get into our last song. This is also by Hanifa, the one that sang Savior, which happens to be Evelor Savior name. This is another song by her.